Hey, welcome to a new video. When you think of beaches, the image of sun, sea, and sand often comes to mind. It's a place where you usually make beautiful memories and enjoy the relaxing environment. But this is not always the case. Are you new to this channel? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And before we start, also like the video. The phenomenon of Peruvian jellyfish washing up in large numbers is a natural occurrence observed along the coast of Peru. These specific jellyfish, known as agua mala or stinging water in Spanish, belong to the species Pelagia noctiluca and are often found in the Pacific Ocean. During certain times of the year, ocean currents and environmental factors can lead to significant increases in the jellyfish population. When these conditions coincide, massive numbers of jellyfish are pushed toward the coast, resulting in mass strandings on the beaches of Peru. This phenomenon is often referred to as a jellyfish bloom or jellyfish invasion. The sting of the Peruvian jellyfish can also be quite painful. They have venomous tentacles lined with specialized cells called cynidites, which contain harpoon-like structures called nematocysts. When these tentacles come into contact with human skin, the nematocysts shoot venom, causing a burning sensation, redness, and swelling. In some cases, the sting can cause more severe symptoms, including nausea, dizziness, and breathing difficulties. When you hear about a Spanish explorer and a golden cannonball, you probably immediately see dollar signs in your eyes. In 2021, an amateur fossil hunter exploring the shores of a beach in California made a remarkable discovery: a perfectly spherical object that looked like a massive golden ball. Upon closer inspection, it was confirmed that the object was a solid gold cannonball and estimated to be worth millions of dollars. The discovery has captured the attention of the entire world. It's believed that the cannonball was likely left behind by Spanish explorers or early settlers. It's thought to have been used during the California Gold Rush period in the mid-19th century. This was the period when gold was discovered in the area, and people flocked to the region in search of wealth. However, the process of making a solid gold cannonball is incredibly difficult and requires specialized tools and techniques. Experts estimate that it would have taken a skilled craftsman weeks, if not months, to make. The deep-sea Pacific football fish is a rare species of monkfish that lives in one of the deepest known parts of the ocean, at a depth of more than 900 meters below the surface. They're known for their distinctive coloration and, of course, the dorsal fin in front of their mouth. The last place you'd expect to find one of these is on the beach, but a beach visitor noticed the eerie creature during a morning walk on California's Newport Beach. He immediately contacted the state park rangers, and even with all those people there, no one could figure out how this deep-sea creature had washed ashore and almost completely been preserved. Pretty creepy, and makes you wonder what else is hiding in our oceans. Recently, skeleton remains were discovered by a woman named Bobby Lee while driving along the beach in Keppel Sands, Australia. The woman posted a photo of the creature on Facebook, describing it as a mermaid with a human skull and a hairy body. The image sparked a wave of speculation and curiosity. People made various suggestions to identify the creature, ranging from dead sea lions or dolphins to more exotic possibilities, like a mermaid or even an extraterrestrial being. Some advised the woman to contact local authorities due to the resemblance of the skull to a human. However, most people believed it belonged to a decomposed marine mammal, possibly a seal. The shape of the head and the robustness of the ribs were cited as indicators supporting the theory. The truth is that to this day, no one knows what it was. What do you think? In 2021, a mysterious skull washed up on a beach in New Jersey, causing a wave of speculation among both experts and the public. The skull appeared massive with a bizarre shape and was unlike anything scientists had ever seen. Many people thought it was immediate proof of an ancient giant race that once inhabited the Earth. Others believe it was the remains of a dinosaur due to its size and unusual appearance. After being examined by experts, it was determined that the skull was that of a dwarf sperm whale. The dwarf sperm whale likely died at sea and washed up on the beach. The skull itself is an impressive specimen, over 3 feet or 1 meter long and weighing more than 300 pounds or 135 kilograms. The discovery proves that we still know very little about our oceans and the sea creatures that inhabit them. Who knows? There may be even larger sea creatures lurking in the depths of the ocean. What do you think? On February 22, 2017, local residents thought the apocalypse had arrived. This is because a strange blob had washed up on a beach in the Philippines. The blob was about 6 meters long, and further examination revealed that it weighed 2,000 kilograms. A sea creature of such colossal size naturally made everyone think it was a whale, but it didn't quite fit that description. The creature had mysterious hair-like strands that closed around its body. According to researchers at National Geographic, these would be decomposing muscle fibers. What makes this even creepier is that this is not the first time a giant hairy blob has washed ashore. A year earlier, another 15-meter-long animal was mistaken for a blob. And in 2003, a similar 13-ton blob was found in Chile. What kind of creatures do you think these are? We know that lobsters, including the Japanese giant crab, can reach considerable sizes. But in this video, we see some people who saw a giant crab on the beach and pulled it out of the water. This was reportedly filmed on the coast of the town of Muanabo in Puerto Rico. The lobster was reportedly found by a fisherman from a restaurant during their search for fresh seafood. According to some people, this could be the largest lobster ever found. It reportedly took a combined effort of several men to drag the animal out of the water as well. This next object that was found has to be surely the strangest thing that has washed up after a tsunami. In fact, a man had found a washed-up Harley-Davidson. According to the story, the motorcycle was lost in the Japanese tsunami and was found 4,000 miles or 6,400 kilometers away. A company offered to restore the motorcycle, but the person who found it refused, saying he wants to put it in a museum as a tribute to the 15,000 people who died in the tragedy. Should you be interested, it's now on display at the museum in the American city of Milwaukee. An unidentified object discovered by a diver in Palm Beach has piqued curiosity and speculation within the local community. The diver named David stumbled upon the mysterious item while snorkeling with his children at a depth of about 5 to 10 feet or 1.5 to 3 meters. Initially, he mistook the object for a rocket due to its appearance, which raised some concerns about potential dangers. However, he remained calm in the hope that there would be no explosion or damage. Residents in the area speculate that the remains could be from World War II military equipment or a discarded torpedo. To assess the situation, police boats with divers equipped with ropes were dispatched to this location. The dive team managed to remove pieces of the object, but could not determine its true identity, leaving the mystery unsolved. Initially, however, the police indicated that the object might be a US training rocket and has since been removed from the area. Do you believe this explanation? The Tasmanian globster is a mysterious creature that washed up on a beach in the west of Tasmania, Australia in 2017. This strange animal was discovered by a group of local residents who were walking along the shoreline of the beach. The carcass was described as being about 50 feet or 15 meters long, with a light pink color and a rough leathery texture. The discovery of the Tasmanian globster caused much excitement and speculation among the local population and scientists. Some suggested that the creature was a new species, or that it could be an unknown species of giant squid, while others said it was a decomposing whale. The creature was over 20 feet, or 6 meters long, and weighed about 4 tons. Over the years, various theories have been proposed to explain the origin of the Tasmanian globster. Eventually, experts from the Tasmanian Museum and Art Gallery were called in to examine the carcass and determine its identity. After analyzing tissue samples and other evidence, they concluded that the creature was in fact a decomposing whale. However, some people don't believe this story and still think it's another type of sea monster. Despite the mystery surrounding the Tasmanian globster, its discovery has led to renewed interest in the enormous and enigmatic creatures that inhabit our oceans. Mermaids are one of the most popular creatures in mythology, but have you ever thought that they could actually exist? It may seem bizarre, but the remains of an unknown creature that resembled a small mermaid were found on a British beach in 2016. The creature appeared to have a human body and a fish tail. Despite the fact that it looked like a mermaid, many people are skeptical and assume it was just a dead seal because there's a huge colony of them swimming around nearby. Other people say it was probably made by someone and placed it there on the beach. What do you think, and do you believe mermaids exist? Let me know in the comments. The Mori Boulders, located in Koikoi Beach in New Zealand, have fascinated visitors with their mysterious origin. These massive spherical rocks, some with diameters of up to 10 feet or 10 meters, have sparked various theories and legends about their formation. We'll explore 5 different explanations for the origin of the boulders: a Maori legend, alien eggs, volcanic activity, lightning strikes, and a scientific explanation. According to the Maori legend, the boulders are the remains of a stranded canoe, with the rocky sandbanks of nearby Shag Point representing the petrified hull. Another theory suggests that the boulders are alien eggs, either from space or washed ashore by the ocean. The possibility of volcanic activity is also considered, proposing that the boulders were ejected from an ancient volcano and landed on the Koikoi beach. Another theory suggests that massive lightning strikes may have formed the boulders by shattering and compacting the matter. Lastly, there's a scientific explanation classifying the boulders as Septarian concretions. This theory suggests they began forming 60 million years ago on the ancient sea floor, with calcite crystals accumulating around cores of fossilized shells or wood. Which theory do you believe? Let me know in the comments. Serpent de Ocean is a striking snake skeleton found in the coastal town of Saint-Bernard-les-Pins in France. This ocean serpent is a legendary creature that has captured the imagination of both sailors and land dwellers for centuries. It's said to live in the depths of the ocean, and there's been various sightings throughout history. While some people believe that a gigantic snake skeleton had actually been found on the beach, unfortunately, that was not the case. Serpent de Ocean is a sculpture created by Chinese artist Huang Yang. The undulating shape of the snake is meant to evoke the movement of the waves, and the silver color matches the surrounding sand and sea. It was first installed in 2012 and has since become a popular tourist attraction. Despite its fearsome reputation, Serpent de Ocean has played a positive role in many cultures. Many sailors also believe that the creature could offer protection and good luck during voyages at sea. The snake skeleton, however, has caused people from all over the world to want to visit the beach. In 2012, a man found a gigantic eye the size of a grapefruit on a beach in Florida. Theories quickly circulated on the internet about whether this might have been an eye from a giant squid, a whale, or perhaps a sea monster. After careful examination, it was found that the eye probably belonged to a giant swordfish. A swordfish can reach a length of 15 feet or 4.55 meters, and weigh up to 1,300 pounds or 590 kilograms. How only the eye was washed up on the beach is unknown. It must have been pretty terrifying for the man who had found this thing on the beach staring at him. The eye was eventually sent to the Fish and Wildlife Research Institute in St. Petersburg, Florida, where scientists will conduct research on it. Another unexpected thing found after a tsunami were Civil War cannonballs. These were found on a beach in South Carolina in 2018, after Hurricane Dorian hit the coast. People who discovered these cannonballs first thought they were just rocks, but after looking closer, they realized they were more than that. The couple called the authorities, and they verified that they were cannonballs from 1863, that were used when Foley Beach Island was occupied by Union troops. However, this was not the first time cannonballs were found after a hurricane. In 2016, Hurricane Matthew uncovered 16 cannonballs. While taking a stroll on Australia's Bondi Beach, a local resident named Drew stumbled upon something unusual. Drew captured video footage of the creature stranded on the shore, revealing its distinctive feature: large puckered lips resembling those of a human. You might even liken the creature to something out of a science fiction movie or cartoon. Despite its human-like lips, the creature's skin appeared shark-like, leaving observers puzzled about its true nature. Upon closer examination, Drew noted that the creature's mouth was located on the underside of its body. Unlike a shark, experts later identified the creature as a Coffin Ray, a ray species native to Australia. Though its fins and tail were missing, the species' distinctive features were still recognizable. Coffin rays are known in temperate to tropical seas around Australia and can occasionally be found in sandy areas and shallow bays. The creature's unusual appearance can also be attributed to factors such as decomposition and bloating. A rare tornado was spotted on a Brazilian beach, creating a spectacle that attracted crowds of onlookers. A tornado approaching a beach is one of the most terrifying things you'll ever see, and here's why. The tornado, also known as a waterspout, formed over the sea of the coast of Ponta Negra Beach in Natal, Brazil. The event was captured on video and widely shared on social media. While they can be dangerous if they make landfall, sea tornadoes usually dissipate harmlessly over the water. However, in addition to waterspouts, there are also sandspouts. These are relatively common on beaches, where there's a lot of wind and strong temperature differences. These small tornadoes are typically much weaker than their large counterparts, but can still cause damage and be a danger. Another notable example of a sandspout occurred at Coney Island, New York in 2019, when a waterspout formed off the coast and moved over the beach, taking some tents and beach chairs with it before dissipating over the ocean. In Brazil, sandspouts occur regularly, particularly along the southeast coast of the country. In 2020, another sandspout was filmed off the coast of Sao Paulo, which was an alarming sight for local residents. A dolphin washing up may be disturbing, but the next person had found a dolphin on the beach that had 2 heads. The dolphin was found by a gym teacher on a beach in Dakili, Turkey, near the western city of Izmir. He had spotted the dolphin as the waves brought it closer and closer. At first, the man thought it was an ordinary sea creature, but he was shocked when he saw the 2 heads. The 2-headed dolphin is believed to be a calf, about a year old, and it was less than a meter long. While it had 2 heads, its body transitioned into 1 tail. But that wasn't the only thing different about it. The eyes of 1 head were almost closed, as was one of its blowholes. The 2-headed dolphin had the extremely rare condition called polycephaly. The condition, which also occurs in humans and other animals, results in having 2 heads, like the process of Siamese twins. The next creature found on the beach was called the Hellfish. People gave it the specific name because of the dinosaur-like jaws, ferocious fangs, and hellish eyes. However, this is not the only hellfish ever found. When a monkfish washes up from the depths, it gets the same reactions. The deep-sea fish known to inhabit the pitch-black deep ocean is rarely seen, but sometimes the deep-sea creatures end up on beaches in Orange County, California. If you don't really like large isopods, you'd better get to the comments. They're crustaceans, some of which live on land, but most species live in the western Atlantic Ocean. You find them from the US state of Georgia to Brazil. The terrifying thing about them is that in the deep sea, they can become gigantic. Before 2018, it was unknown that they could have gigantism, but thanks to researchers from Indonesia, we now know. I think you may already think a small isopod is creepy, so imagine if you came across such a monster in the ocean. Pretty scary. The mysterious Montauk Monster was found on the beach off the coast of Ditch Plains in New York, July 2008. This monster clearly resembles nothing from our world, raising the alarming question of how much we don't know about the ocean. Some people claim the Montauk Monster had been an experiment of mutation, since there is a nearby laboratory across the beach. The Montauk Monster mysteriously only made the news for a short time, and it was never mentioned again after that. According to several articles, the remains of a 1500-year-old church were uncovered during a coastal excavation. The location, situated along the shores of Ashdod in Israel, has revealed a series of well-preserved architectural features that provide valuable insights into the Byzantine era. As archaeologists painstakingly uncovered layer by layer of the past, mosaics and fragments of frescoes came to light, bearing witness to the artistic and religious traditions of that time. Apart from its architectural grandeur, the Byzantine Church serves as a testament to the historical significance of the region. Ashdod, with its strategic coastal location, has long been a crossroads of cultures and civilizations. The discovery of the ancient place of worship adds another layer to the complex story of the city's history and sheds light on the religious practices of its inhabitants. Unearthing this 1500-year-old church also provides a tangible connection to the people who once walked along the shores of Ashdod, leaving traces of their beliefs and traditions behind. As summer temperatures rise and beachgoers head to the coast, an infestation of jellyfish can be seen near the village of Shoreline in Crimea. Thousands of these sea creatures washed up, which is a creepy sight. These types of jellyfish are common in the Sea of Azov, a marginal sea of the Black Sea. The jellyfish are known as the Aurelia aurita, or moon jellyfish. Although they are generally not deadly to humans, their stinging tentacles can still cause pain. According to some reports, the stings can leave a sticky substance that feels unpleasant to the touch. They are also transparent and have a distinctive clover shape, with fluttering tentacles that extend from their bell. In addition, they have a unique symbiotic relationship with a small crustacean known as the amphipod, which lives in their bell and feeds on their mucus. In exchange, the amphipod provides the jellyfish protection against some predators by becoming poisonous itself. The jellyfish, which are often seen in the Black Sea during the summer months, were believed to have been driven to the coast by strong winds and currents. The presence of the jellyfish had led to warnings from authorities who have advised beachgoers to be cautious and avoid touching the creatures. A peculiar and mysterious spectacle unfolded when an intriguing carcass washed ashore on the banks of a Russian beach. Reacting swiftly to the discovery, Russian special forces seized the remains for further examination. Initial assessments left experts puzzled, as the creature seemed to defy categorization as a fish or crocodile, sparking speculation. With a length of about 20 feet or 6 meters, this creature had another mysterious feature, a cover resembling fur or hair. While nothing was ever confirmed, they concluded it could possibly likely be a beluga whale. Beluga whales are known for their distinctive white appearance and bulbous foreheads, and inhabit the Antarctic and subarctic regions of the northern hemisphere. These marine mammals are known for their intelligence, social behavior, and impressive vocalizations. Although they're typically associated with their shiny white skin, it's not unheard of for them to exhibit discolorations or abnormalities due to various factors. What do you think was found on this Russian beach? Let me know in the comments. When people first saw this video pop up on the internet, they thought a giant octopus had washed up on the beach. However, its identity was quickly revealed. In fact, this octopus was part of a publicity stunt by Netflix to advertise the 4th season of the popular series Stranger Things. But imagine if you didn't know that and you see this creature lying on the beach. Pretty creepy. A tsunami hit a city in Indonesia in 2004, which was very devastating, destroying everything in its path. When it passed, many buildings were destroyed and debris was everywhere. But a mosque remained standing and only had a few cracks. This is pretty bizarre, because the structure survived a severe 9.1 megaton earthquake. Fortunately, this story also had a happy ending, because after the tsunami passed, the mosque provided shelter for those who had lost their homes. Several LEGO figures have washed up on multiple beaches around the world, including Japan, the United States, England, and other countries. It was first discovered in 2007 when people saw a giant LEGO figure on the beach in Zandvoort in the Netherlands. In 2008, residents of the town of Brighton in England also found a huge LEGO figure on the beach. A few years later, in 2011 and 2012, more of these LEGO figures were found washed up on beaches in the United States, and even in Japan. Where these LEGO figures came from is still a question. The LEGO figures all had a text on their torso that said, "No real than you are." And on the back was the inventor's name and the back number. The mysterious man behind this is a Dutch man named Igo Leonard. If you Google his name, you'll soon find out that he's a painter and a sculptor known for his unusual LEGO figures. During the summer season in Qingdao, a city in East China, there's an annual invasion of fluorescent green algae along the coast. This phenomenon turns the beaches into a vast green expanse. Despite government efforts to clean up the algae, it remains a challenge to combat the algae originating from the Yellow Sea. The accumulation of algae on the beaches of Qingdao is a common sight, and in photos, we can see Chinese tourists dealing with the algae in various ways. Some people apply the algae to their bodies, while others go as far as to bury themselves in it. Additionally, people have used algae to create sculptures and sand art by mixing it with sand. These activities showcase visitors' creative and playful responses to the unique natural phenomenon. According to official statistics, the Algae Bloom has covered approximately 8,900 hectares of land in the Shandong province in China. To address this issue, authorities have deployed a large number of ships, a total of 2,173 for cleanup efforts. These efforts have resulted in the removal of over 70,000 tons of algae from both land and sea, with 40,000 tons specifically collected from the coast. While the algae themselves are not toxic, they pose a potential threat to fish and other marine life. Recently, a bomb from the Civil War was discovered on a beach in Barcelona, causing authorities to evacuate the area. The bomb is believed to have been buried in the sand for decades. This unexpected threat highlights the lasting and often hidden impact of past conflicts. The beach is a popular tourist destination and also has historical significance as a defense location during the Spanish Civil War in the 1930s. The bomb that was found weighed approximately 176 pounds, or 80 kilograms, and was still believed to be active. Experts from the bomb squad were called in to safely remove and destroy it. This incident will remind you to remain vigilant and report suspicious objects to local authorities. So if you're walking on the beach and come across an object, it's better to be cautious, because you never know, it could be a bomb. The evacuation of the beach caused a lot of disruption and inconvenience for local residents and visitors. But fortunately, everything turned out well. You've probably never heard of the megamouth sharks. This is because they are very rare, and they don't often show themselves. The sharks have an unusual rounded snout that gives them distinctly non-shark-like appearance. The species, which can live up to 100 years, was discovered in 1974 by a US Navy research vehicle in Hawaiian waters. Since then, there have only been around 269 confirmed sightings. Most recently, in June 2022, another one washed up ashore in the Philippines. And another incident a few years ago, also in the Philippines, but in Pio Duran, Albay. This was a giant male, 15 feet or 4.6 meters long. We've all heard about the Lochness Monster, but what about the Lochness Monster? The unusual creature was washed up on the shores of Littleborough Lake in England in 2015 after a storm. People who found the monster were shocked, but eventually reported it to the authorities. They told that the monster was not a monster at all. According to them, it was a 5-foot or 1.5 meter long pike, with a terrifying set of teeth. In 2013, another gigantic thing had washed up on the beach on the British coast of Norfolk in the town of Thornham. If you look at this from a distance, it could be mistaken for a huge beached whale. However, if you get a little closer, you'll see that it was a huge buoy, also called a fender or fenders. When you see the fender hanging off the side of the supertanker ship, it doesn't look that big. But if you set it next to a person or a car, it's huge as seen in this picture. This huge object is a kind of special buoy that usually attaches to the side of a dock or the port side of the ship to protect ships from damaging during docking. The Coast Guard tried to find the owner of this large buoy so they could remove it. However, they were not able to remove it easily because it's in shallow water. When the tide comes back in, the huge buoy will be a little easier to move. However, no one came forward to claim them, so what happened to them is still a mystery. Shells regularly wash up on the shore, but creepy dolls don't. These dolls are often covered in barnacles and lack limbs, hair, and eyes. Photos of them were posted on a Facebook page of the local organization Mission Aransas Reserve, which documents many intriguing finds. They say they come across dozens of these dolls, but the creepiest of them are those without hair and with barnacles growing out of their empty eye sockets. However, there's a scientific reason for this phenomenon. But why it's always dolls remains a mystery. The Texas coastal bend area where these creepy dolls were discovered has been identified as a junk magnet. The beaches in this area receive as much as 10 times the amount of debris compared to any other beach in the Gulf of Mexico. A strong ocean current, known as the Yucatan Loop, currently regularly pushes objects to the shores of Texas, creating an influx of debris. It's unusual to find bees on the beach, as bees typically visit flowers and plants to collect nectar and pollen. Without nearby flowers, bees are not likely to venture to the beach. However, there have been exceptions, such as in Cape May, New Jersey, which has left beachgoers concerned. Some experts suggest that bees may have been following their queen or searching for water. In recent weeks, many bees have been spotted buzzing around the beach. The bees may have been attracted by nearby holly trees, which provide the bees with nectar and pollen. While the presence of bees on the beach may seem harmless at first glance, there's growing concern among beekeepers and environmental activists. Unfortunately, bee populations are declining worldwide due to factors such as exposure to pesticides, habitat loss, and disease. The presence of bees in a popular public space like a beach, however, can pose a serious risk to people who are allergic to bee stings. Would you run away if you came across a swarm of bees on the beach? Let me know in the comments. On October 10, 2016, a man taking a beach walk in Charleston, South Carolina, saw something metallic half buried in the sand. This happened shortly after Hurricane Matthew wreaked havoc on the coast. The man was checking for damages that day. During the American Civil War, which lasted from 1861 to 1865, the area had been a fortress, and many attacks were made on it. But the man had not expected to find 16 cannonballs. The authorities were called, and eventually a U.S. Air Force explosive team was called in. They had to detonate the 150-year-old cannonballs. Even though they were more than 2 centuries old, they were no less deadly. Even the locals reported hearing the explosions. In October of 2017, a creepy video of an alien sea monster lying sprawled on the beach circulated on the internet. People began to speculate what it could be, but no one had any idea. Its appearance looked strange, with a claw-like head and 4 arms that looked like tentacles. But that wasn't all. Behind it, a long line could be seen. Not clear whether it was the creature's path, or whether it's part of the mysterious body. In case you're curious where in the world this creature was washed up, it was on the beach of Juliandorp in the Netherlands. Unfortunately, there are not more pictures, so we can't see the monster more clearly. We can only guess at what kind of sea monster this could have been. Here's another situation that was caused by a tsunami in Japan. The pilots of some planes patrolling off the coast of British Columbia were startled to see a ship off the west coast of Canada. But where did this ghost ship come from? The ship was completely empty, and it looked like it had survived something terrible. It later turned out that this was a Japanese ship that had been swept away by a tsunami that hit Japan in 2011. The ship was 164 feet, or 50 meters long, and it was registered in Hokkaido, Japan. However, no one knows if anyone survived, but they nicknamed it the ghost ship. On August 11, 2017, huge drill pipes had washed up on the British coast of Norfolk in the town of Sea Polling. These giant brand new drill pipes fell off a ship that was on its way to Algeria for a major project. It was said that there was no public health risk, and that these pipes would be returned to the manufacturer in Norway in the near future. The longest pipe that had washed up on the beach was a whopping 1,575 feet, or 480 meters long, and the others were about 650 feet, or 200 meters long. However, sending the huge pipes back to Norway took several weeks due to their immense size. As you might guess, the beach became a bit of a hotspot for people who wanted to see it up close, so a lot of pictures were taken. A group of friends was relaxing on a beach in New Zealand when suddenly an orca was spotted near the coast. What makes it eerie is that the orca came alarmingly close, causing everyone to run out of the water. However, one of the most common shark species in New Zealand is the bronze whaler shark. These sharks are known for their preference for coastal habitats and are often spotted near shorelines, especially in the summer when they follow schools of fish closer to the coast. Other shark species found in New Zealand waters include the great white shark. Great white sharks roam the coastal areas of New Zealand and are responsible for dozens of accidents each year. What would your reaction be if you saw a shark fin sticking out of the water? Or have you experienced this before? Let me know in the comments. A mysterious eyeless creature washing up on the shores of South Carolina sounds like the beginning of a horror movie, but this actually happened in real life. The discovery has sparked so much speculation about the identity and origin of the creature, some suggest that it could be an undiscovered species or mutant. The creature, which is approximately 60 inches or 1.5 meters long with a slim body, was discovered by a beachgoer. According to experts, it could be a type of sea slug or eel, but there has been no definitive identification. The strange thing is that the creature has a notable lack of visual organs. Even after examination, experts cannot categorize the creature within known species or animal groups. Some have suggested that the creature might have been a victim of pollution or climate change. Others say it might be a deep-sea creature that somehow made its way to the surface. The monster of St Augustine is a story you probably don't want to hear at night. The monster was discovered in November of 1896 by two young boys and is considered a so-called globster, a strange unidentified organic mass that washed ashore. This one landed on Anastasia Island in Florida. The two boys first thought it was a whale and ran off to share their find. But this turned out not to be an ordinary whale. This monster was 6 meters long and 2.5 meters wide, with a weight of up to 5,000 to 6,000 kilograms. The globster had several arms or tentacles, or at least the remains of them. Its skin was so rough that it was impossible to cut it with a knife. It took a whole team of men and 6 horses to drag it away. Whether it was a giant squid, a whale, or a mysterious sea monster, nobody knows. What do you think it was? In theory, we know that sperm whales can reach 60 feet, or 18 meters in length. Unfortunately, they occasionally wash up on beaches. In the town of Skegness in England, not 1, but 3 sperm whales were found. However, there's also an example of a 62 feet, or 19 meter long whale that washed ashore in eastern China. This one was still alive, and thanks to the 20-hour efforts of local firefighters, the sperm whale was pushed back into the water. Near Takaka and Golden Bay, 3 whales have washed ashore before. Dozens of people came to the beach to view the majestic animals. Japan is one of the most tsunami-affected countries, and therefore the most incredible things have been found there. In 2011, a Japanese beach was devastated by a tsunami, and after everything went down, people found a strange object the next day that made them scratch their heads. The monster was filmed on camera, and you can wonder what exactly this would be. One of the men who were there said it was better to not get too close, because no one knew if it was dangerous or not. What do you think they found here? Let me know in the comments. In November of 2007, this beach in the Netherlands was covered with bananas. 10 containers were said to have fallen from the ship Duncan Island into the North Sea. The containers somehow broke open, leaving thousands of bunches of green bananas washed up on the beach. The bananas were still unripe, so they could not be sold. Of the 8 containers on the cargo ship that went overboard, 6 were filled with bananas. The other 2 contained styrofoam. It was decided that the bananas that had washed ashore would be taken to the zoo. But first, the cargo went to a company nearby to let the bananas ripen, after which they will be edible for the monkeys and elephants in the zoo. The grunion is a unique species of fish found along the southern coast of California in the United States. These fish are known for their unusual spawning behavior, where they come ashore in large numbers during the spring and summer months to lay their eggs in the sand. In this video, we see thousands of small fish coming ashore to spawn in the dead of night. The spawning process of the grunion is a remarkable sight. After the grunion female swims onto the beach, she uses her tail to dig a small nest in the sand. She then lays her eggs in the nest and is accompanied by one or more male fish, who fertilize the eggs. Once the eggs are fertilized, the male uses her tail to cover them with sand, protecting them from predators. What makes the grunion run such a captivating sight is the fact that it only occurs at night, under the light of the stars and the moon. Despite their fascinating spawning behavior, the grunion population is currently threatened by habitat loss, pollution, and overfishing. Efforts are being made to protect and preserve this important species, including the establishment of protected marine areas and the application of sustainable fishing practices. What have you ever found on a beach? Let us know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos we've made, click one on the screen or take a look at the channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.